Hey everyone, Mr. DVB here, and welcome back to Couch Top Reviews, where I sit on the couch and review brand new films. So tonight I saw Knives Out, which is the newest film from writer-director Rian Johnson, who has made some films such as The Last Jedi, which is everyone's favorite Star Wars movie. He also made Looper back in 2012, a film that I really enjoyed, Brick, which I have yet to see. He also made some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad. So this guy is an interesting director. A lot of people hate The Last Jedi. I am mixed on it. I don't know. I'll definitely dive into that more when I talk about the Star Wars movies, if I ever get around to actually reviewing them. But yeah, he's kind of a mixed director in my opinion. He's made some stuff that I really like, and I think what I do like about him is his original films, which he doesn't have that many of, but stuff that he does on his own that's not necessarily a part of a franchise that a lot of people already have expectations for, like Star Wars. Because he did try to do something original with The Last Jedi, kind of, and it backfired on him. It just didn't really feel like it was a sequel to The Force Awakens, in my opinion, and it kind of screwed up the trilogy as it stands right now. So, with this film, I honestly wasn't nervous, because it was his own original film. He was writing it, he was directing it, it wasn't a part of a franchise. So I went into it kind of expecting it to turn out really well. It was getting fantastic reviews, which was a nice surprise. And coming out of it, it reassured me that he is a very good director when he's on his own, making his own movie that's not a part of a franchise. I really liked this movie. I thought it was a ton of fun. It's one of the more fun films I've seen this year, honestly. Is it amazing? No, I had problems with it, but not that many, honestly, and not big issues overall. So first of all, this is a murder mystery film, like I said. I love films in this, kind of subgenre or whatever. I was a little bit disappointed, or I was very disappointed by Murder on the Orient Express back in, 2017. Wasn't a huge fan of that movie. So it's nice to have, another, a good murder mystery film, because it's been a while since I've seen one that's this good. Like I said, it was just a lot of fun. It was a very interesting film. It's not like many other murder mystery films. It's very original in the way it's told. It gives you a lot of info, kind of early on in the first half of the movie or whatever, but then it kind of puts a twist on everything, and I really like that. It's like I said, it's not necessarily the kind of murder mystery film where it's the entire time the characters, you feel like they're in constant danger. It's not like that, and I do prefer when movies are like that, because it just makes it more tension built. But this movie still had some good tense moments in it, near the end especially, and near the beginning. There were some really cool moments in this film. I liked the way it was filmed. It had really good cinematography. All the actors did a great job in it. The lead actress, Anna D, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I don't have anything that I can read right now anyways, but she was great in the film. She did a fantastic job in my opinion. I really liked the other actors in this movie. They're blanking out. Daniel Craig, he was great in this film. His accent was very funny. And yeah, everybody in this movie did a great job. There's a huge cast. This movie has a ginormous cast, one of the best casts I've seen this year. Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans, lots of people. One guy, Michael Shannon, who I thought was great in this movie, by the way. He might have been one of my favorite performances, actually. I just really like him as an actor, and I liked his character in this. Everybody does a very good job. I liked the kind of family aspect about this movie. Just this family that really hates each other and is very divided, getting into all these arguments over really stupid things. The movie got, it got political at times, which I thought was a little bit unnecessary. I know this film was obviously, they were doing that on purpose, and they were trying to throw their stuff in there. I'm not the biggest fan of throwing politics into movies or anything like that. I mean, if the film is solely about politics, fine. But I don't know. In the case of this movie, I just thought it was kind of out of place or whatever. But some people aren't gonna bother. It's not gonna bother them. But whatever. So that was really my only real nitpick with the movie, was just that I thought the political stuff in the film was kind of stupid. Other than that, though, performances were good. The way it was filmed was good. The writing was good. This is a very funny film, which I was expecting that it was going to be humorous, because the trailers were definitely portraying that. And that's the thing with Rian Johnson, is I think the reason Last Jedi was such a weird film for me was because the trailers were so dark and serious. His previous film, Looper, from what I remember, was a pretty dark and serious film. So I kind of went into Episode 8 expecting it to be a very serious Star Wars movie, and it was probably the most comedic Star Wars film yet. Although I think it honestly failed on the comedy aspect. It was just really weirdly written comedy that didn't fit Star Wars comedy. Star Wars comedy is not necessarily, random visual gags. It's more often just characters saying lines that really fit their characters, that just come across as humorous because it's funny, you know. Like Force Awakens, I thought did a really good job at humor. Last Jedi, not so much. This movie is kind of a mix of the humor I like and I'm not always a big fan of. There's a lot of really good, just like written humor in here, with dialogue and that kind of stuff, and everything feels natural. That was one positive thing. There are a few lines here that I thought was a little bit odd. There's a few times where the writing was a bit weird, in my opinion. Not that often, there's just a few lines, but for the most part, it felt natural, and the comedy worked for me. So it was a funny film. The audience was laughing a lot. There was people clapping after the movie, which doesn't happen that often when I see films, unless it's like a opening night for a really huge like comic book movie or Star Wars film or blockbuster or whatever, which this isn't. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed Knives Out. I recommend you guys go check it out. I'm gonna give the film an 8 out of 10. Very fun movie, like I said. Great performances all around. There are a few people who are kind of pushed to the side. Jaden Martell, who is in It, he really doesn't do anything in this movie. There's a few people in this film that just kind of got pushed off to the side. But yeah, enjoyable film. Rian Johnson is a very good director, and I look forward to seeing what he makes next.